Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Baddies Gone Wild review, so let's just get right into it. So this episode picks up where the last one left off, where Natalie is at the Baddies Gone Wild house for a house meeting, and she shows up with Erica, who has beef with some of the other girls in the house. So as soon as Erica walks in, Rella ends up chucking a water bottle at Erica, so Erica runs up on her and she ends up getting jumped by Teetee and Rella, and then all of a sudden, when security is holding Erica, all of a sudden Oxy ends up popping her right in the face, so she snuck her. And I thought it was so lame for, Teetee to jump in the fight between Rella and Erica because it had nothing to do with her. It looks like Teetee just wants camera time, so she's getting involved in other people's beefs. And then Oxy, I'm disappointed in her because I did like her a couple of episodes ago, but now she's doing too much because even though it was wrong for Erica to hit Rella in the head with an object, it still had nothing to do with Oxy. Oxy should have stayed out of it, especially because Rella was one of the people that came into her room and took the beds out of there, so I don't understand why she's trying to have Rella's back like she's innocent. And Natalie does end up calling out Oxy for sneaking Erica, which I thought was a good thing because I thought it was really lame. I mean, people really liked Oxy, but now people are starting to look at her sideways because of this situation between her and Erica. And the girls start basically arguing about who should fight Oxy for Erica, and some of them start saying Jadynn should have to fight for Erica because Erica only started fighting people because she was defending Jadynn, and then some of the girls disagreed. I thought they were doing way too much talking over each other in this episode, and it was kind of getting a little bit annoying. But Oxy starts yelling stuff out to Erica and basically calling her out, so the two of them start fighting with each other, and I was surprised that Erica was swinging because she just looks like a sweet, pretty girl that doesn't want to be confrontational, but she was definitely swinging. Now, I will say in this first round between Oxy and Erica, it felt like a tie to me. I watched it and rewinded it a couple of times, and I watched it in slow motion. This looked like a tie in the first round. But in the second round, I will give it to Oxy because Erica ended up tripping, and then, Oxy did end up catching her in the face, and then she grabbed onto the front of her hair, so she was able to take control of that fight. But I still think that it was pointless for Oxy to fight Erica in the first place because they didn't have any beef with each other. She just inserted herself into somebody else's issues with Erica, and I don't like that. And for once, I do agree with Hurricane M because she didn't say it in front of the other girls, but in her confessional, she did say that it was lame for Oxy to fight Erica because there was no reason for her to do it, and I completely agree. Guys, I do not like Coco, okay? She has to be my least favorite girl on this season of Baddies Gone Wild. Like, I just do not like her, okay? She's getting involved in everybody else's issues and calling everybody else out, but she has yet to call out Daisy when Daisy messed up her eye for most of this season already. But Coco starts putting Jadyn on blast, saying that Jadyn has a hit list of girls she wants to fight, and she ends up saying that Hurricane M is on the list. So Hurricane M starts going off on Jadyn wanting to fight her, and I just don't understand why she keeps wanting to fight Jadyn. Like, Jadyn is her whole storyline, okay? Like, she's been going at Jadyn before they even stepped foot in the Baddies Gone Wild house, and she's still going at her, and it's like she knows she can win a fight against her, so I don't understand why she keeps on picking a fight. It's because that's the only person that Hurricane M actually has an issue with, and that's the reason why she keeps going at her, because there's plenty of other people on the show she could fight too. And Jadyn keeps saying that she doesn't want to fight. She keeps trying to find out why Hurricane M keeps wanting to fight her if they already fought multiple rounds already, but then other girls start pressuring Jadyn to fight. Like, Teetee starts yelling for Jadyn to fight, and it's like, why does this girl have to keep fighting every single episode? She clearly can't fight that well. She does defend herself, but it's like, why does the girl keep picking at her? So because Jadyn felt pressure to fight, she ends up putting a cap over her hair because she doesn't want her hair to get pulled, and her and Hurricane M start fighting. And honestly, Jadyn did a lot better in this fight with Hurricane M. Like, Hurricane M was acting like she whooped Jadyn in this fight, and she didn't. Honestly, this fight was a tie between the two of them, and I watched it in slow motion and rewinded it a couple of times. They definitely tied with each other during this fight, and look, the only thing that Hurricane M did that gave her the upper hand on Jadyn is that when security was pulling them apart, she started pulling on Jadyn's hair, and that's why Jadyn had it tied up in the first place. It's like, why are you gripping on that girl's hair like that for no reason? Like, I don't like girls who really try to pull your hair out in a fight because I feel like that's jealousy when you do something like that. Because why do you want her hair out of her head? So after that fight was broken up, Daisy starts pressing Bahati, saying that she's gonna fight her, and she told her in last week's episode that she was gonna make her bald-headed, and it's like, so she was already planning to rip this girl's hair out of her head, and I feel like that's jealousy. Like, I really do feel like when girls try hard to pull your hair out of your head in a fight, because they can let go. Like, if you're not swinging on them anymore and they're just still gripping your hair and security's trying to break it apart and they just won't let go of your hair, they're trying to rip that shit out of your head. So the fact that Daisy called out that that's what she was going to do to Bahati. That tells me everything I need to know about her, and she's fighting Bahati for no reason, okay? Because her and Bahati start fighting with each other. And I will give the win to Daisy. Like, she definitely overpowered Bahati because she just keeps swinging and she doesn't stop. And with the other girls, they stop swinging and, Daisy doesn't. And I feel like that's her strategy. She just keeps on swinging and swinging and swinging, and she knows the other girls can't keep up. But when security is trying to pull them apart, Daisy is holding on to Bahati's hair, and she is not letting go of this braid in Bahati's hair. Like, she's holding it so tightly, and Bahati's not even swinging on her anymore. And it's like 3 security guards trying to get Daisy off of Bahati's hair, and she just would not let go. She was purposely trying to rip a braid out of this girl's hair, and I don't know if she was trying to be like Rolly when Rolly did that to Diamond the Body, but she ends up pulling an entire braid out of Bahati's hair. Like, the whole side of Bahati's head was bald-headed. Like, I could not believe that she snatched her hair out like that. Like, literally everybody was standing there in shock, and I feel like this is probably why a lot of the other girls don't want it with Daisy, because they don't know what she'll do. Like, she doesn't have any boundaries for what she'll do in a fight, so I feel like that's why a lot of the girls don't want to fight her. But Coco was pissing me off because after Bahati just got a braid snatched out of her hair, Coco was yelling for security to move out of the way and let Daisy fight Bahati again, and it's like, girl, you didn't even want to fight Daisy again after she blacked your eye that one time, so why are you trying to get somebody who's fought this girl a few times and got her hair ripped out to fight her again? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And Daisy is such a liar because when Natalie ended up asking her what her issue with Bahati is, she started basically blaming the whole fight on Bahati, saying that she was only asking Bahati a question, and then Bahati ended up popping off on her, and that's not what happened at all. Daisy allowed Coco to put a battery in her back and lie on Bahati, and she decided to believe Coco, a girl that she fought, over Bahati, a girl that she's been cool with since the very first episode and that she shared a room with, and that was stupid. She was putting her hands all up in Bahati's face and yelling in her face. So what was Bahati supposed to do? Just sit there and allow her to yell in her face like that? Like, girl, bye. So at this point, Bahati is going off because a piece of her hair literally got ripped out of her head, so I can understand why she's going off the way that she's going off, but security would not let her get to Daisy to fight her, and I just think that that wasn't right because I definitely feel like Bahati should have been able to fight her again to get her lick back. However, I can kind of understand why production and security did not want to let Bahati go fight Daisy again, because if Daisy is willing to literally rip the girl's braid out of her head, what else is she willing to do? But when security ends up putting Bahati in the other room, that's when Hurricane M starts lying to Natalie about why she has beef with Jaden, basically trying to make it seem like Jaden started with her, when we know that that's not true. Hurricane M immediately started with Jaden before they even stepped foot in the house on the very first episode, and she's been picking at Jaden every single episode later on. And I don't know what Hurricane M thinks she's doing, but she's making Jaden likable, okay, because she's making people have sympathy for Jaden and see her as an underdog, and people like an underdog story. So she's just making Jaden more likable to the fans, just like they made Bahati very likable because they started picking on her, just like people started to like Shay because everybody was picking at her. And it's the same way people are starting to get when it comes to Erica, because everybody's picking at her too. They're making these girls stars and they don't even see it. Now, I will say I do like that Natalie told the girls not to be jumping people after she saw Erica get jumped. She didn't think that it was necessary. I didn't think that it was necessary either. And I like that Erica was calling out the double standards in the group, because her and Rella started going back and forth, okay? Because Rella still has a problem with Erica, even though she didn't have a real reason to have an issue with Erica. And that's why Erica was so calm during this back and forth between her and Rella, because she didn't really have an issue with Rella to begin with. Rella had an issue with Erica only because Erica was defending Janelle's, because people were voting for her to go home and she didn't think that that was right. I don't feel like that's a reason for anybody to want to fight Erica. But I like that she called out the double standards and the fake outrage when it comes to the girls on this show, because they all claimed that they had such an issue with her cracking Rella in the head with that battery pack, but nobody said anything when, Gloss Up and some of the other girls were throwing peanuts at Shay while she was laying down, knowing that the girl's allergic to peanuts. Like, that could have killed her. So I feel like they can miss me with the fake outrage. Natalie played in these girls' faces so hard in this episode, though, and it made me laugh because she made them vote for which girls they wanted to go home, okay? And they all voted for the same 4 girls. They voted for Erica, Shay, Bahati, and Jaden to go home. And Natalie told them that because they voted for these girls to go home, like, because of all these girls ganging up on these 4 girls, it makes her want to keep them, because obviously they're making things interesting if all the girls want them to leave. So I thought that was funny because they thought that they were making themselves look good by voting these these 4 girls out of the house when really it made them look bad and it made the other girls look more interesting. And then Natalie makes them think that replacements are coming to the house, but then she lets them know that there are no replacements and that she's keeping everybody in the house. So I just thought that was kind of funny. I know some people thought that that was annoying, but I thought it was funny to throw a little curveball at the girls. But they're in a new house because we know in last week's episode they had to leave the first house they were in because they were making too much noise and the neighbors signed papers to get them out of there. So they moved to a more secluded house, which is probably the best decision. But now it's time for them to pick rooms again. And they all run to pick their rooms. And basically Teetee thinks that she got the master bedroom, but she really didn't get the master bedroom because the master bedroom had 4 beds in it. And it had Shay, Oxy, and Jaden. And I think one other girl was in the room with them, but I don't remember who it was. So Teetee and a few of the other girls go into these girls' room and start throwing their beds and their sheets and their pillows all around. And I thought that was so stupid and whack and lame. Like, why are you going in there touching their stuff and then getting mad because they didn't take off on you for doing it? It's like, girl, why are you messing with people's stuff? Like, Teetee really got in her confessional at the beginning of this season and said the fans were gonna love her, but honestly, most of us don't like her because she's doing too much. Then Natalie ends up getting Erica, Bahati, and Daisy all in a room together because she wants to see if they can come to some type of resolution, but Bahati is not with it. Bahati does not want to come to a resolution because she just got her hair ripped out of her head, and I honestly agree with her. I would never be able to be cool with somebody who purposely ripped my hair out of my head. That's why I was surprised that Diamond the Body is cool with, you know, Rolly right now, because I could never be cool with somebody who purposely ripped a braid out of my hair. Like, you're doing too much. Natalie starts telling Daisy to apologize, and Daisy says that she feels bad, but we know that Daisy does not feel bad for pulling, you know, Bahati's braid out of her hair because she said in the previous episode that she was going to snatch her bald, so she did that on purpose. Natalie starts telling Daisy to give Bahati a hug, which I didn't like. I mean, I understand that's her job to kind of stir things up a little bit, but I didn't like how she was trying to push for Bahati to be cool with Daisy again after Daisy just disrespected the fuck out of her by pulling her hair out of her head. And I honestly wasn't really feeling how Natalie was making it seem like Bahati was doing too much. Like, if somebody would have ripped Natalie's hair out of her head, she would have been doing more than Bahati was doing. So I don't feel like Bahati was doing enough, honestly, to get a piece of hair ripped out of her head. But Bahati ends up sneaking Daisy, okay? She just starts popping on her, okay? So the two of them start fighting, and obviously Bahati did end up losing the fight with Daisy, but I just feel like Daisy was being fake anyway when she was trying to apologize to Bahati and trying to hug her and stuff. She was just doing that to try to get on Natalie's good side, but then in her confessional, she was saying that she didn't care about pulling the braid out of her hair. So it's like, don't give a fake apology. If you're not sorry, then just don't be sorry. After the fight between her and Bahati, Daisy ends up going upstairs to tell the other girls what happened, and she tells them how Bahati ended up sneaking her. And in front of Daisy's face, Hurricane M was laughing and basically agreeing with Daisy. But then in her confessional, she was saying something completely different. She was saying that she completely agrees with Bahati sneaking Daisy because at the end of the day, Daisy pulled a piece of hair out of her head. And I mean, I agree with Hurricane M. I just don't understand why she said that in her confessional but didn't say it to Daisy's face. Maybe it's because she's scared of Daisy like a lot of the other girls in the house are, so that's the reason why she didn't say it to her face. But this episode annoyed the hell out of me. And I ended up voting for Bahati as MVP of this week. Last week I voted for Erica. This week I voted for Bahati because I feel like, you know, she got a whole braid ripped out of her head, but she still stood on business and she stood on her own. So that's the reason why I chose her. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.